Blessed love, this is Ras representing for the Lion Voice, seeing? Yeah, man, keep it locked right there, sir. On to Zion we go. Lion Voice don't move slow, no. Rastafari rules and reigns, and we're going where the blessings flow. Keep it locked right there, sir, seeing? Ras said that. Lion's Voice.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the Lion's Voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari live it. Hey, the Lion's Voice, Rastafari.
And the people received everyone very well. And the whole treatment, as I said, being in Africa and then being at a hotel where they come pick you up in a bus and take you to an event and security come out to guard you and walk you through the back. It was that kind of vibe, It's like, wow, Africa, we're there,
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I left himself. Where's my ruler? Hey yo! Yeah, hear them high, hear the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill. The lion will come conquer Judah tribe. Go to tribulation, I strive, see sufferation, I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in Toronto, straight at
Man, Ethiopia again, that was for self-restoration. I couldn't see myself continuing to sing songs about Addis Ababa and Shashamach and we need to go to Ethiopia, I'm inviting everybody to a place I've never been. So, as a real Rasta man, I took that time to say, okay, I'm going to go there. I had the opportunity and I went. And yes, out of that, I met some amazing people and links that I have to this day. I talked to a virgin named Ras Tafari, who's now in Israel. He's very excited to bring me into Israel. So I told him, let it calm down some, So Ethiopia it was like another home. When I went there, just like when I was in Ivory Coast, you have to understand, you go to these places and people say, where are you from? And you say, Belize. And they say, where is that? And you try to explain. And then by the time you finish, they say, well, welcome home. You understand?
Yes.
How can you be any place in the world that would say, welcome home? It's a great feeling. Ethiopia, I met a virgin by the name of Ras Indio, and we still communicate to this day. And just to go there and see faces like mine, because that's salam no is the greeting in Ethiopia, salam no. Yes. And as I reached to the airport, that's what people are telling me. They thought I was an Ethiopian. People start to talk to me, and I have to say, I don't know, I'm having slower, So those are vibes. Ethiopia, I'll never forget. It's a place.
Yeah, I get the same thing in Ethiopia. People, I've been cussed before because people think I'm trying to pretend to be Jamaican and I'm an Ethiopian. Ethiopians in DC cuss me. I say, why you don't speak Amharic? What are you doing? So definitely is a joy. So after Ethiopia, what year was Ethiopia?
2012 out of all years. It was the year when they said the world would collapse.
Okay.
When they said the Maya calendar would end. Remember?
Okay, yeah, man. And
everybody have them theory, and it's crazy how everybody have them theory and talks about that time and Jahaiwa,
Yeah, man.
I got to go to a place called Wandugenit, and I got to in the hot springs that my brethren Lumumba said Selassie himself bathed. You understand? I was able to go to the university, which is a place that Selassie built himself, right? is free education. It's a university that has free education. All right, you don't have to pay to go there. And I actually went to his house, saw his bed, met his butler, who was still living at the time. I don't know if that guy is still living at this time. I don't know. But when I went, I experienced some unforgettable things. Up to this day, I still have sand and different things from those places, you know? Speaking of that, I have sand here from the Ivory Coast, right here.
Really?
Because my daughter and my children, my daughter said, please bring me back some sand. So I'm like, okay, you know? I have black sand. This come from Goree Island, black sand. So it must have lava. It must have some lava in it, you know?
Yes, lava rock.
Yeah.
Serious thing.
It's amazing, like I said, to see how we are so connected, but they on that side don't know. And it was up to me to let them know. And then I come back on this side and now I let my people know how much we are connected.
Yes, serious. So what year did you end up going to Ivory Coast?
Second.
What year did you end up going to the Ivory Coast?
That's where last was. I just came back from there.
Okay, so that's recent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into the topic because I want to talk about your recent trip. Give us an idea of what's happening on the ground in Africa. What is the state of Rastafari reggae music? You know, what was the vibration that I received going to Senegal and the Gambia? And did you get to see the big statue and all them something there? Give us take us through the trip. How did it start? Take us through the journey.
Again, big up Mama T, JOTD Productions, who made it all happen, coming together with Majama and Lamis and all the names I could remember of these people who all hosted us and accommodated us. The vibe was so amazing. Senegal was a little different in its own way, but it was just a vibration. It's very Muslim oriented in Senegal, more so than in the Gambia. And again, they speak more French and Jollof, which is the main language there.
Yes.
So the communication with me and people were a little different. When I went to the Gambia, they speak English. And it's like overrun with Jamaicans. The place I stayed was owned by 2 Jamaicans. And one of them wake up every day and put on the sound system loud and get on the mic. And it was like I was in Jamaica, and everybody who I met, it's just English. So that whole English, again, like Belize, you get that sense of being in the Caribbean. Senegal didn't really have that vibe, but I was able to go to Radio Senegal and do a nice interview with them. And I went to the House of Culture where I met up with Jamu and Jala himself, and these people showed me a lot of great things happening. And right around the corner from the House of Culture was the Renaissance, the monument of the Renaissance, which powerful, as big as the Statue of Liberty. You can see it anywhere you are in the city, anywhere, as long as it's not blocking the view. To see the image of a strong man, African man, of course, strong man, holding up the woman, and she's just like this, the woman and the man holding her, and she's like, oh, and then there's a baby though in the man's hand. He's also carrying the baby. It's pointing in the direction of where they all should be going. It's such a powerful thing when you put that together.
We have to big up Wade, who was the president who commissioned that work. He got a lot of criticism at the time for investing so much millions of dollars in building that monument, but it was a visionary move, what it represents to this day, because now it's a huge tourist attraction and it's put Senegal in the race with Ghana in terms of the diaspora. They have Goree Island and Senegal is competing for the diaspora dollar. With
I
Ghana.
see that. And they have some big stadiums, big, huge football stadiums. And Senegal is on a different level, you could tell. As I said, the Gambia is like well, even though I was around the tourist area of Senegambia, and so it's a lot of tourist kind of, attraction kind of vibes. It still feel like a village compared to Senegal, Dakar. Dakar was like different vibes. And most of the people are covered down, and you hear the prayers a lot, all through the day. So it was a vibe.
Muslim dominant. It's a Muslim dominant culture.
And it just brought me a different kind of vibes being there, as opposed to in Gambia. Gambia, I began taking off my shoes, wearing slippers, going to the beach. It was just a different vibration, Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Powers and strength.
So we performed in Gambia at the. Is the light okay? Because I noticed it's kind of clear.
Yeah. You can. Yeah.
Here we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I noticed in so in Gambia we performed in Brikama. That is this place. It's like we drove out of Senegambia city and 30 minutes out Brikama. And I see Jamaican going there soon. So it seems to be a place where many of the shows would happen when they have shows in Gambia. Brikama Backflop is the name of the place. And it was myself, Black Hero, who had to take off immediately after the show. He didn't even see the last performers because when he finished with his part, he had to take off to go catch a flight to go to Ghana. And he had a show with Stoneboy. And, so, it's like, that's how we were moving in Turbulence. Black Hero, myself, along with Carmel Zoom, who was a female artist from Berlin. Ras Julian, who was from Ivory Coast. Ras Kush, who was from Ivory Coast. And there's a bunch of other names I can't really remember, but it was that kind of a vibe. And the people received everyone very well. And the whole treatment, as I said, being in Africa and then being at a hotel where they come pick you up in a bus and take you to an event and security come out to guard you and walk you through the back. It was that kind of vibe, It's like, wow, Africa, we're there, Yeah, so, again, big up all the promoters and the people who made the production possible. They're already calling me and saying that April is a possibility. So
okay.
So
I was gonna ask. So the people know Ras Indio music over there, or you're introducing them to the iMusic?
Well, I met a few people who did already know of Ras Indio and the music, but I believe that at this point we are introducing ourselves to them on this level, and it's really a great thing for me to be able to take the same Jobless Us album I'm telling you about now and take it there, and it feels like it's brand new again. The DJs, I have a brethren, DJ Muta Baruka. I have to big him up. He works on Q Radio in the Gambia. And since I left, he's been sending me videos of him playing the music now and pushing the music now. You have Cote d'Ivoire, One Radio in Cote d'Ivoire in Ivory Coast. One Radio. Big up Stefan Tate. He's definitely pushing the music. So we're getting it out, the vibe is building. And again, like I said, I went back into the archives and put the same songs out on them, and they're like treating them as brand new. Here we go again.
Them could never conquer the mountains. Thousands of years and counting. Ethiopia rise again unto the world. Now we are announcing. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see him wanna go dismantle the beast. Rastafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. Well, solar energy that them a see. The whole city powered by the sun's energy. The road them make out of hemp and concrete. Neighborhoods full of fruit trees that taste sweet. The youths put down them guns, them harvest and a reap. The beautiful gardens will line every street. Tired of the bloodshed, them done with the beef. Not even animals fi dead, them burn out the meat. Where people say Haile Selassie, I see Nile. When they see say him a treat the dirt like a child. Peace on earth from the banks of the Nile. That's why we giving thanks in style. See say Babylon a weapon, them a stockpile. Babylon a wicked, kill them brother and smile. Lion, Babylon a reptile. Them a plant fish, shed blood, we got plans for the soil. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. Rastafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. No more gullies, proper sanitation. Proper toilets with proper filtration. Clean water for the youths them fi use. Our sons and daughters safe, no more child abuse. Africa arise, read it in the news. On the day when Rastafari ready, wicked have to move. 3D printing alongside hem shoes. Herb get legalized, hard drugs them get refused. Well, people used to say they bring him man senile. True himself he tried it with man, woman and child. Himself peace on earth from the banks of the Nile. That's why we giving thanks in style. She say Babylon a weapon, them a stockpile. Babylon a wicked, kill them brother and smile. Lion, Babylon a reptile. Them a plans for shed blood, we have plans for the soil. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the beast. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the beast. Rastafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. Babylon, them got a plan for boots war. Without them meditation, well, them not go reach far. The money where them take fi buy them bullet and gun. And money where them can use for education.